Okay. Do we have a roll call, please, Stacy?
Dale Stevens.
Here.
Doug White.
Here.
Glenn Lyle.
Here.
Beth Fred.
Here.
Chuck Horn. Joe McManus.
Here, thank you. Next item on our agenda is public comment. We do have public comment at the beginning and at the end of each meeting, so we'll go ahead and open up public comment. If anybody has anything they'd like to tell us, now's your first opportunity to do that. Okay.
Just your name and address.
You got that for the record? Okay. Any other public
Put that
comment?
in the minutes. Can you do that back?
Seeing none, I will go ahead and close public comment, bring it back to the board for the approval of the agenda. If there are no changes to the agenda recommended, it would stand approved. Any changes? No? It's okay. The agenda is approved. Any conflicts of interest at this point? None? So we go on to the minutes for our July 28th meeting. Again, they're in your packet. If there are no changes or recommended corrections to the minutes, those would also stand approved. Any changes by anybody? Well, we're flying today. So the minutes are approved, and we move right on to the financial report. So don't get too comfortable.
Good morning, everybody. In Exhibit 7, you'll see the revenue and expenditure report through the month of July. Nothing too specific to note. We're kind of tracking as expected. Just a reminder, I probably next month will be doing some budget adjustments. We have some grants that I need to adjust for the income and the expense associated with that, as well as some inflationary adjustments as well. So we can do that next month. So are there any questions on the revenue expenditure report for July?
Don't see any. Nope.
Okay. And then in Exhibit 7A, we are requesting the money transfers for July 2026 of $545,000. Approval?
Motion to approve the money transfers of $545,000. Support.
Motion made by White, supported by Lyle, to approve the money transfers of $545,000. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And then in Exhibit 8, we're requesting the approval of the claims and EFTs of $640,774.41. So we're requesting the approval for that as well.
Want to make that motion?
I'd make a motion to approve the prepaid and regular claims for a total of $640,774.41.
Support.
Motion made by Lyle, supported by White, to approve the prepays and regular claims, $640,744.41, or whatever the amount was.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion on that?
Just kind of tangentially related, and I should have said it under number
Oh,
7.
okay.
But I just a quick look through, you guys are looking really solid through, through the end of July for your budget and how you guys have spent it this year. So really nice job.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah,
like
we'll
looks like you're going solidly into 2027. So that's great.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Good work. That's a lot of work, not only from you guys, but from all the way down the line.
Right.
Thank you. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, moving on.
Thank
We
you.
have the cost recovery report. Is anybody going to address that, or just in the packet for information purposes? Okay.
Good morning. Yeah, you can see the cost recovery in there. If there's any questions on the report, I'd be happy to answer that. Okay. Also, under correspondence, we do have the save the date for the annual 9/11 ceremony. That will take place, obviously, September 11th at 8:30 in the morning. Obviously, all public is welcome to attend. We're encouraging people to attend. Looking forward to the significance of the anniversary this year, and we'll look forward to hopefully seeing as many members of the board that can then attend that day present for it. So.
All right. The 25 years, 25 this year, correct? Is there any,
Yeah.
I imagine nationally there'd be a lot of attention on it.
Yeah, there will be. I know there's been a couple media requests, and there's going to be a couple interviews taking place. I believe there'll be some interviews at the memorial of some local politicians that are, that they're going to be doing some interviews. And then members of our organization requested to be on one of the news radio channels just to talk a little bit about the significance of the memorial, how it came about, and then also just, in preparation of it, little details of the event. So look forward to that.
All right, well, anytime you want to move on to your report?
Perfect. Okay. Crowded for space. Okay. In personnel, Cody Randall completed his last day with the department on August 13th. We had previously talked about that. He had given us a lot of notice. So, and then one of our new firefighters unfortunately became unable to perform his duties during his probationary period. So replacement hires for both of those positions, along with the additional 3 firefighters that we had planned for. Completed their orientation, along with the other personnel. We had additional part-time personnel. Obviously, we're going to be swearing in a large number of personnel today, so we're excited about that. And then that pretty much leaves our schedule full and fully staffed, with the exception of our one firefighter who was injured off duty, has a little bit of a longer-term injury that he's recuperating from. He's recuperating well. Optimistic about his return according to schedule, so we're hoping sometime in October that we can get that individual back to work and be fully staffed. So had a little bit of a rough spot. Obviously, it'll be reflected in the overtime hours, and for this month not so much, but next month as well. But hopefully then things kind of level out for the remainder of the year. We're also considering, we had mentioned that the renewal for our NetSuite for government accounting software, we're considering, we did get a proposal for a 3-year renewal. I want to say it was like $55,000 or something like that for a 3-year contract. We are considering a 1-year renewal. It really isn't going to cost us anything more, but that just gives us a little bit more time to evaluate other options. And if we choose to potentially transition to another software, it would allow adequate time for essentially really Kim and Jen and the rest of the admin to kind of make those changes if we choose to do so. So Kim has made arrangements for us to demo a couple different alternative programs that we primarily feel that is a little bit more suited for fund accounting for us, and we're going to do that within the coming weeks. So probably have some information to report next month. We did have, it's that time of year, we did have a correspondence with the Firefighters Union about the annual wage and insurance negotiations. We do have a meeting tentatively scheduled for October 15th. We're going to coincide that with the availability of the health insurance premium renewals. Obviously, we planned for, we budgeted for those renewals, but again, the trend right now is double-digit renewals on health insurance, that sort of thing. So we really want to know what we're dealing with, what we're looking at before we sit down and have those conversations. So we should have that hopefully in early October. So that would give us adequate time and accurate information to work with when we sit down and have those discussions. Additionally, we did apply for the fire equipment grant program through the Department of Treasury, and members of the townships and the board had kind of sent that information over to us, and we appreciate it. Gave us a few days head start to start looking at that. We did apply for 8 sets of firefighting gear for part-time firefighters. That would total just over $42,000. We're hoping that we have the opportunity to get that award, and then application deadline is the 30th of September. There was some information about that possibly being postponed or something along those lines, so we don't know really when the awards will take place, but hopefully we'll hear positive news when that does happen. In regards to the surplus apparatus, we have signed sales contracts with Brindley Mountain to sell the Pierce Aerial for $135,000 and the 2010 Pierce Rescue for $155,000. We have those contracts signed. There's one thing that we're waiting on is I believe this week, that ladder as what we would normally be doing this time of year is doing the ladder test, and one of the contingencies of the sale is to provide a ladder test, a passing ladder test, which shouldn't be a problem because we've always maintained that vehicle and the ladder has passed every year. So once that's done, hopefully we can get those buttoned up and get those shipped out. And then additionally, the 93 engine is currently listed on that alternate brokerage site, Shop Garage. It was listed for $15,000 right now. Not a lot of activity and interest with that. We originally had a much lower offer from Brindley. If things are not successful with that, we've had some discussions. We have the option of just putting it on public surplus and just do an auction for that. So we'll go ahead and we'll kind of monitor that. And then the 29 Chevy Suburban that did sell on public surplus for just under $7,000. So once all these kind of come together and these sales contracts close, we should just have just north of $300,000 to put into public surplus. So happy about that, but want to get there. And just a follow-up, when we had the discussion about the study and future stations, I did attend a meeting with Supervisor White and council members of the Grand Traverse Band. We had some informal discussion about our planning for the future in Acme Township, some of those needs, the challenges of availability of different sites, and especially the current costs of those sites. Everything is north of $1 million, 1.5, some are at 2, anything that would potentially be suitable. So we did have a good conversation. They expressed their appreciation for emergency services in general and fire. They also said that they were going to discuss our needs with their full council. So again, positive meeting, but again, more to come with that. Additionally, I did meet with Dan Watkins at the County Road Commission. Had some discussion about the results of the station analysis and some of the land that they have with their facilities. But that was a positive discussion. And again, it's just initial. And have a meeting with the Road Commission Board Thursday evening to discuss it. Have basically a brief summary of the results of that, and then we'll just have a little bit of discussion with them. So I'll report after we have those meetings, and we'll kind of see where things go there. Just in closing, this evening, we're going to present the proposed budget to Garfield Township. I know a couple weeks ago, we presented to both Acme and East Bay Township already, so that will be, we'll finish that up with Garfield this evening. And that completes my report. Any questions from the board?
I think that property in Acme, I think we might have to rethink. Maybe we put some, we take the term fire barn and we put some horse barn attached onto that property and then lease out some
Yes,
stalls.
yeah.
And maybe it'll make it a little more.
Yes, yeah, I mean,
That horse show is really driving up the price of that property up
Yeah.
there.
It has really driven it up.
Yeah, I mean, Acme was the leader in Grand Traverse County in terms of the increased valuation. We were just over 10% this past year. So pretty significant, because I believe Garfield was in like around 3 or something.
Would anybody in that horse show group that tends to have a lot of money to spend
I don't think.
consider, actually serious, consider
Well,
donating property for the
considering
fire
they have-
station in proximity to their buildings, because it seems like their insurance rates might be a little bit more reasonable if there was a fire station.
Forget about the insurance rates. They've got $1 million and $2 million horses in those stalls.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly.
May not be the worst discussion to have.
You know, I've heard just informal things. Somebody was talking about a development further that way, somewhere in the area, the Grand Traverse, the RV resort. And, you know, again, that's not necessarily going to, based on our call volume and response times, it's not necessarily going to suit our needs now. But again, those are things to think about for the future. If the opportunities arise, it would be a lot easier to have it, you know, secured and ready for if the need arises, or when the need arises, that we have that available. So, yeah, it's good to think, it's good to plan. So, especially as things are becoming less and less available and much, much more expensive, so.
There's a guy right close to the horse shows. I'll bet he'd just soon move out and turn that over to a fire barn.
I don't know, someone would have to reach out to that gentleman, so.
I don't know if I'd call him a joke.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments? No? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Paul. All right. I believe, Tony.
Good morning. Under my report in apparatus and equipment, the new ladder truck for Metro Fire is fully equipped and now in service at Station 1. We've also taken delivery of the new shift supervisor vehicle, which is called Battalion 1, which is also equipped and now in service for the captains. The shift supervisor now responds primary with this vehicle out of Station 1. Working through the small surplus equipment that is left over from the sale of the old apparatus that Chief just mentioned, some equipment has been reassigned to other apparatus. Other surplus small items will be sold off following the disposal policy. Under training, firefighters completed training during the month of July on foam operations, salvage and overhaul of fire scenes, carbon monoxide, natural gas leaks, and rescue task force skills and drills, which we typically do in August just prior to school beginning in session. New hire orientation was completed with 3 full-time and 3 part-time firefighters last week. This was our largest group yet for onboarding orientation, and it was, in my opinion, very successful. We look forward to welcoming these additional firefighters on shift, most of which are here before you today. 8 Metro personnel completed a class held at Metro Station 1 on responding to natural gas emergencies. 3 days of training were conducted on aerial operations with our different shifts with the new ladder truck. This training was provided with the purchase of the truck and instructed by Pierce engineers. 1 firefighter attended rope rescue operations class in Howell, Michigan, and 2 firefighters attended machine rescue class in Plymouth, Michigan. And then we also conducted our monthly team training for both hazardous materials and technical rescue. A few recent calls of interest there, a few building fires of note, as you'll see listed there. And then calls, a total of 637 calls for the month of July, which I believe is our highest month now on record. EMS calls 518. Continue the top call for EMS of false with 104. The priority breakdown, 254 priority 1, 96 priority 2, and 168 priority 3 medical calls. A total of 688 training hours. And then voluntary overtime at 490 hours, which is a decrease. Mandated hours at 336, which is a decrease. I will say, after already looking at the numbers for August, those you'll see next month are going to be significantly higher because of the employees that we had off. So there is a drastic increase for the month of August, and then hopefully with the new employees on, that number will go back down in September. Staff and equipment move-ups for July, a total of 11. And you can see the breakdown below that. And then overlapping incidents, 193 of 2 concurrent calls, 89 3 concurrent calls, and 29 4+ concurrent calls at the same time, for a total of 311 overlapping incidents. Mutual aid given and received, you can see that breakdown. And again, we're still covering Blair Township in that temporary box while the Beitner Bridge is out. 7 of the 10 calls were in the temporary coverage area for Blair Township. And then just a few mutual aid calls below that from given to Long Lake, Peninsula, Traverse City, and Whitewater, and then aid received from Blair, Paradise, Peninsula, and Traverse City. And then on the last page of my report is a breakdown of incidents both by station and by township. Any questions for me?
No, just for your information, for the boards, and not to get too detailed into it, but the temporary coverage area in Blair Township, that's also something East Bay is looking at. We haven't come to an agreement with Blair Township on what that should be. They had a proposal that was insufficient for the costs and the risk associated with it. So we're looking at what would make sense for both organizations. And we have our legal reviewing that, as well as our reimbursement, or the contractor that we use that does our billings.
Okay.
Looking at that too, so we'll see what happens with that. You know, one potential is we just drop our priority 3s in that area.
Sure.
I know they've got 2 frequent flyers there that are lift assist, and lift assist are not critical in the time, and they're also high potential workers' comp injury, so.
Sure.
We may, but just wanted to, I didn't get a chance to talk with you, and so I just wanted to mention that and kind of just let the board know at a high level that that issue's ongoing in the conversation.
Okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Hopefully, they get the bridge up before the end of the year. I know they've started on it.
It would be nice,
Yes, for sure.
if they get it fixed before we're even do an agreement.
Most definitely. Thank you so much.
According to the road commission, it needs to be done. If they don't get it done by November 15th, it won't be done till May. Because if they don't get it done before the asphalt plant shut down, they won't be able to pay it.
Sure.
But they're saying they're on track to get it done in November.
Let's hope that's the case.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Huh? Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah,
year.
yeah, this November, yes, thank you. All right, Brian.
Good morning, everybody. So our, I'll say new plans examiner, he has completed and passed his NFPA fire inspector and plans examiner courses, so he can become certified in the state of Michigan. Michigan would not accept his California certification, so we got him through those courses over the winter and the spring, so he could become certified. Currently working with Captain Scanlon on new mapping tool and image trend software that's going to show us all occupancies with inspection data to assist us with scheduling, inspection status, et cetera. It's basically just going to be this live interactive map of the district and all of our occupancies. So looking forward to that. That'll be pretty cool. Attended the first responders along with the other chiefs and firefighters from 11 and 12. Breakfast at Independence Village and interacted with the residents there. Sheriff's Department had a good showing, and there was and good food.
Nice shirt.
I performed an occupancy limit check at the request of Garfield Township due to some concerns of potential overcrowding at one of their meetings that had a hot topic here recently. And the meeting previous, sounds like they had some issues, and the meeting I was there, they did not. So there was I think we were up to 13 people, so it didn't turn out to be an issue, so that's a good thing. Our annual open house this year, so we're going to do something a little bit different. I don't think I talked about this in my last report. It is planned for October 31st from 12 to 2 at Fire Station number 12, and we're also going to utilize the Garfield Township Silver Lake Recreation Area. The plan is for a trunk or treat type event with vendors and community partners along the walking path between the station and the park. And we'll have some events in the station, and so we're going to pray for good weather so that we can be outside as much as possible and utilize the park and the walking path and that kind of thing. So we're doing something a little bit different this year from our annual open house that's typically happens during Fire Prevention Week, and we're just going to shake it up a bit. So plan reviews and inspections, you can see the numbers there. The out-of-district reviews down a little bit. Things have slowed down a little bit in Blair Township in the last month or so, but this time of year they tend to dip a little bit, and then they'll go back up in the fall as well. Inspection numbers, so as far as fires, We had a residential fire in Garfield Township that was accidental. An animal turned on the stovetop. Commercial fire in Acme Township, accidental. Somebody left the drain for the grease open on the fryer. Morning employee comes in, turns on the fryer, so now we've got open burners. He starts pouring the grease in the top. The grease comes immediately out the bottom onto the burners, and away we go. So luckily, he was smart, got things under control quickly, and no significant damage there. Commercial fire in Garfield, that was accidental. A fryer turned on with too little oil in that one, so it overheated and caused an issue. Multifamily residential fire in Garfield, that was, they fell asleep while cooking, and so that was a cooking fire. And the commercial fire in Garfield from a couple months ago, that investigation is still ongoing. We're still hoping for some tips. We put out a media alert last week or the week before, hoping that would generate some tips, talking about reward money, and we've still gotten zero, which is interesting. Typically, even social media blows up with all kinds of theories and stuff, and it's been pretty quiet. So, but we're still working on some things from the law enforcement perspective. Pub ed report for August. East Bay Farmers Market, we checked 7 car seats. And then on the 4th Friday, we did 13 car seats at Station 11. And then the other ones are the fill-in ones that call and make an appointment that Katie does at the office. We also did an interview, Katie, did an interview on the safe delivery of newborns law in Michigan and how Grand Traverse Metro, all of our fire stations and our admin office is a safe delivery site in the town, in Traverse City, sorry. We did balance bingo at Independence Village, fire extinguisher training at several businesses in the month, Stop the Bleed at Christ the King Catholic Church and the YMCA. Participated with staff at a fire drill at Meadow Valley, CPR at Station 11. We did a summer fun fest in the hills at Aspen Hills Apartment Complex. That's the first time we've ever done that. It was actually between Aspen Hills and Village Green, so there was a big attendance with that, with a lot of kids there. So that was a cool event. And that is it. And then the last page is just some pictures from the Freedom Ministries Camp for Kids. Does anybody have any questions on my report?
I do, Brian. I'm not familiar with the safe delivery program. I don't recall.
Basically what it is, safe delivery, it's been in existence for, probably 20 years. And basically, somebody can come and deliver a newborn to these designated sites, fire stations, police stations, that kind of thing. Turn the baby over.
Oh, okay.
No questions asked, we'll take it. You know, there is some basic information that we'd like to get, but they can just turn the baby over and walk away, and we take it from there.
Okay. I have heard of that. I just, for some reason, when I saw safe delivery, I was like, is that like if you can't make it to the hospital in time, you stop and?
Yeah, well, we go on those too, but,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
Any other
I
questions?
think if you have your trunk or treat on the 31st, it should be potentially some pretty good turnout for those this year.
Yeah, hopefully, that's what we thought. We'll do it kind of in the afternoon, and then, people can kind of do that, and then they'll be dressed and all that for the evening, late afternoon activities.
Most kids will jump at multiple opportunities to go out and,
Right,
Yeah,
right.
things like
And we didn't want to compete with Halloween.
No.
And all the other events and neighborhoods.
trunk or treat
so-
and fire trucks. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Absolutely.
You better be careful though. You better have good candy because, right, trick or treat, if I remember correctly, it's you either give someone a treat or they play a trick on you. So trunk or treat, if you don't give them a treat, then they're gonna put you
Put you
in the trunk.
Put us in the trunk.
I'm guessing.
I did the dunk tank a couple of years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
I'm not doing that again, so,
Oh, come on, Brian.
no. I ended up sick out of that. It was like 45 degrees and pouring rain.
It'll be 75 and
Yeah.
sunny, so
Yeah.
do her again this year.
Let's hope.
right.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate
Great, thank you.
it. Okay, I do not see old business. Anybody have any old business that you think of we need to revisit? Any new business? I don't see anything there. Suggested items for our next meeting, it will be at Garfield Township on September 22nd. Any thoughts on that? Have any requests for specific baked goods, let me know. We'll
Yeah.
work that in.
Baked goods.
Yeah, something like that. Which takes us to our next public comment. We have one more public comment before we adjourn the meeting, so we'll officially open public comment. If anybody has anything they'd like to come forward and say, now's a good opportunity to do that. I think most of our public's here for other reasons, but I do not see anybody come. Oh, you would, okay.
I just want to say thank you, all fire departments, especially East Bay Township, for everything that you do. We appreciate it. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. All right. I don't see anybody else coming forward for public comment. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Just remember, we have some festivities immediately following, so.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and supported to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.